For nearly 80 years now, this quarter mile of Indiana clay has been building a reputation all its own. Welcome to Kokomo Speedway. Kokomo Speedway opened in 1947 and today is one of Indiana's best-known dirt tracks, a fast, semi-banked quarter-mile clay oval known as Indiana's Baddest Bullring. The O'Connor family has operated the Speedway for more than 2 decades, and racing runs from April through October. The USAC track record belongs to C.J. Leary at 12.284 seconds. But what really makes Kokomo Speedway special is the racing. The O'Connors transformed the old flat track into a wider, progressively banked configuration you see today that creates multiple grooves in a place that rewards drivers willing to attack it. The Kokomo is also an experience. Camping, music, karaoke, the Turn 5 pub, and a rallying cry that pretty much sums up the place. Get your ass to Kokomo. Over the years, Kokomo has evolved from a traditional weekly racetrack into a destination for some of Indiana's biggest open-wheel events. The season includes the Kokomo Grand Prix, Bryan Clauson Hero Classic, and BC Indiana Double, the Indiana Midget Week, and Indiana Sprint Week. August brings the track's signature event, the 3-night Sprint Car Smackdown, before the Kokomo Clash closes out the season in October. And Kokomo's most recent track champion is one of the toughest racers in non-wing sprint car racing, Robert Ballou. The Madman, the owner-driver of the car number 12, is no stranger to victory at Kokomo Speedway. But to really understand what makes Kokomo Speedway what it is today, you have to understand the family behind it. The O'Connors didn't just take over a historic racetrack. They reshaped it, changed the way it races, built events like the Smackdown, and turned Kokomo into a destination for racers and race fans from across the country. So we sat down with the O'Connor family to talk about the track, its history, and what comes next. I'm at Kokomo Speedway with the O'Connor family, Reese, Chris, and Jill. Tell us about the family and how you guys got involved in running Kokomo Speedway.
Well, my dad was a racer, and he raced late model cars, and then I kind of followed in his footsteps, other than the fact he won a lot and I didn't. So that's how we got into racing. We all grew up, I mean, we were babies in the grandstands watching my dad race. Then we got the opportunity to promote our local track, and we went ahead and did that. That would have been in 1999 or 2000.
And that's Kankakee?
Kankakee Speedway. Kankakee Motor Speedway was what we called it. So we did that for 5 years, and during that 5 years, we then purchased Crown Point Speedway, Crown Point, Indiana. And that would have been in 03, I believe, thereabouts. Mm-hmm. And I think the same year we purchased Kokomo. And the guy that my dad had driven race cars for, and also I drove for, the gentleman Buck Roderick from M&R Wrecking, he's the one who found Kokomo Speedway and said, hey, let's buy Kokomo Speedway. And we came down and looked at it and bought it. That's how we had acquired it. So 2 years, I believe, we ran Friday night at Kankakee, Saturday at Crown Point, and Sundays at Kokomo. And we bought a bus, and we would bus employees from Kankakee and Crown Point down here to Kokomo on Sundays, and that's how we got started down here.
But they already had a lot of local employees working here that we kept on too.
We did.
Yeah, as many as we could.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this track opened in 1947, and legends have raced here, including Foyt and Jan Opperman and Dick Gaines and Kenzer and Ron Schumann and Doug Wolfgang and all those guys. Yeah. Do you guys consider yourselves kind of caretakers of that legacy and stewards of that deep heritage and history?
Absolutely, yeah.
For sure, and what I think about a lot to myself is what the Lipke family would think about of what we've done here, keeping their legacy going, because they were the promoters here for years and years, and we hope they'd be happy with what we've done here and proud that we've kept it going. So I think about that quite often.
When you guys took over, you quickly changed this racetrack from a flat quarter mile to what it is today. Did you think you were taking a risk by doing that?
I didn't think that at all because after the fact, I hear a few people say, "Oh, I like the old track," but I think all three racetracks we tore down and rebuilt as far as the shape and size of the racetracks, Key, Crown Point, and Kokomo, and we just feel we modernized it. We matched the track with the race cars, and I think if you ask a lot of drivers, they would prefer this track over the old one. These modern drivers, maybe some of the old guys not, and there's nothing wrong with the old track, but we feel we just modernized it. And I always wanted to build tracks where it was challenging for a driver, so if you could run good here, you could run good anywhere. And our early years, you win a race here at Kokomo was as good as winning a USAC race because all the USAC guys were here every Sunday. I think that has changed now. Times have changed, but so I don't think it was too risky changing the racetrack. I understand we may have ruffled some of the feathers of the people that like the old track, but I think they also like the new track.
So what is it about the shape and or track preparation that kind of lends itself to really good side-by-side, high and low groove racing that Kokomo's known for?
Well, it's for sure we banked it up a little bit more, and you don't have to use the brake pedal near as much on this track as the old paperclip style racetracks. So you're on the gas a little bit more. The speeds are higher. The progressive banking, but that has all changed too over the last 5 or 6 years with the technology they have on the cars. Now a guy can rip around the middle on a dry slick racetrack and have traction with these shocks and tires that they're using. So it's harder to get these tracks racy. And I talk with all the Indiana promoters, and we all feel the same way. We almost need wheel spin now to get it back to where they might be racier. Whereas now with technology, they're all hooked up and got traction. So that's been tough as far as preparing the track, trying to make multiple grooves with the technology of the cars.
Well, and you're known and got quite a reputation as a track builder. Didn't you design the Indianapolis Motor Speedway?
The dirt track down there, I did. John Schmitter and myself laid that track out, and there we were confined. Of course, they said, "Here's how much space you got." So we basically did what we could down there, and they said it was going to be for midgets. So I think it's an awesome midget track, and it's kind of proven to be a pretty good sprint car track too. I didn't believe that they would race as well as they have on that little track, but yes, I did lay that out. And with the Scott Petrie did a lot of the dirt work down there, Petrie Excavating, but as far as the shape and design, yes, I did do that way down there.
Well, I want to follow up on what you mentioned earlier about some of the technology changing. As a track preparation guy, does that change the way you're preparing the tracks for racing?
It shouldn't, but it does, because before we used to get these tracks so wet and muddy, it didn't matter. Once you got them ready to run on, the racing was good no matter what. Now if you get them, it seems like if you get them that heavy and wet, they don't race very good. They need a little bit of slick, but one thing I'm never ever gonna have is a dry slick hard racetrack. I'm always gonna have traction in the tracks I do, no matter what. My number one concern is the fans, what they like, and I think they like high speed, and they don't like slow and not touching the gas pedal. They want, high speed and aggressive racing. So I'm gonna always prepare the track, no matter what the cars tell me. I'm gonna lean that way. So.
It's a little less dust in their eyes as well, and beer.
Yeah, sure. We don't like dust. I mean, unfortunately, we get it. It's a dirt track, but we don't like it.
You guys started Smackdown in 2012, and it's quickly become one of non-wing sprint car crown jewel events. Did you envision that when you started it?
Actually, Sprit.
Jason McCord and Spridge,
Yeah, they came to us.
USAC kind of came to us and said,
They wanted a 3-day.
yeah, they'd like to do it. It kind of hinged off a sprint week, you know. Why can't we run 3 or 4 nights at one racetrack and let the teams stay? And Jason McCord mentioned it to me, and I immediately said, yeah, I was interested in it. And it's slowly grown. I mean, now it's you talk to people that are here, and it's their best weekend of the year. And a lot of these people go to late model races and sprint car races too with the band on Friday night. We got an awesome band coming this year on Friday night. It's just basically it's as big of a party as a race.
Yeah, the first time I came here, I visited some friends that were camping, and my immediate reaction was, "This is a little baby Knoxville." It's what it felt like, the whole vibe.
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah, it is. I feel like that's everyone just has a good time. I mean, I don't see anybody grumpy that weekend.
Yeah, we're here to have fun and watch some
Yeah.
Dyson. And
Yeah, we want everyone to just have a blast that weekend.
it's karaoke on Thursday, the band on Friday, then the auction.
All Melinda's stuff that
Yeah,
she
which-
does for
Melinda
Riley's.
Stanbro.
Which that's something we're all really proud of, but we don't have a lot to do with it. It's
All Melinda and her help and her people that help her Stanbro.
that thing's gonna hit $1 million this year. It's,
And what is that exactly?
the Riley's Children's Hospital, they're gonna this year it'll be donated $1 million, or they're gonna
Over the
reach
years,
over
yeah.
$1 million over the years, and 100% of that money goes to the hospital. There's zero overhead.
Children's
Nice.
cancer.
It's an auction on Saturday morning, or about noon.
The auction's open now, actually. They do an online auction and then it continues on the Saturday.
They have a live auction Saturday under the
Okay.
stage.
I'll be sure to link that in the description too, so
That'd be
people
great.
can.
Yeah.
That'll help.
So has Smackdown become bigger than you ever imagined, or is this what you'd hoped for?
I never imagined it myself to be this big, but there's still room for growth, and it's been slow growth over the years. It's not, which I like that better than I'd be worried if all of a sudden, why do we got 1,000 more people here than we had last year? But it's just slowly.
It grows each year a little bit.
Yeah.
And you-
Knock on wood, never gone down. But
Yeah. Yes.
You have also a 2-day program at the beginning of the year, don't you?
Yeah, we have the Kokomo Grand Prix, which is a midget race with USAC midgets with Indiana non-wing sprint cars, and it's nowhere near the Smackdown or Sprint Week or nothing like that. But we feel, I guess, midgets are important enough that they need to have events as well, and that one does okay, but it's not like Sprint Week or the Smackdown energy.
This is shifting gears a little bit, and not to take it down, but local dirt tracks are facing a lot of headwinds, and a lot of them aren't even surviving. What kind of changes have you guys made, or how are you better equipped, I think, to deal with today's economic conditions and running a dirt track in 2026?
Well, my thought is on it. We went from our weekly stuff was dwindling down, and we went to this special event schedule where we'll have 2-3 weeks off in between. I'm going to call them events versus races, because now I feel that's what you got to have as an event versus a race. A race, you show up on Sunday and open the gates and have a race and lock up and go home Sunday night. An event, you show up on Wednesday or Thursday and you have other activities planned for the people, whether it be having the camping available for them to camp and cook out and do their thing in the campground, or the band or the karaoke, or you just gotta entertain the people. Not 100% of the time they're here because they do entertain themselves, but there just happens to be some racing going on at night when the sun goes down.
So it's about quality over quantity.
Definitely.
For sure,
Definitely,
yeah, for
right.
us. And I understand there's other racetracks that they got to open every Saturday night and run, and that's how they operate. Kokomo Speedway being a Sunday night racetrack, that started to fail financially. We would not be open today had we stayed on that model. And for the people, and I read some stuff or see stuff out there, well, somebody needs to run on Sunday nights, and maybe they do, it just was not working here for us.
So the economics, I would guess that your fixed costs aren't as big of a component as your variable cost of bringing in everybody to work on a race night and all the other, and the purse and all the other expenses associated with a race.
Yeah,
Correct, yes.
exactly.
Well, speaking of economics, flow's made a big impact on motorsports in general. How has it been for a local track owner? What are your thoughts on it?
I mean, that's a double-edged sword, because if there's and I've stayed home and watched things on flow, and the only time I've done that is if there's a threat of weather, and that's the bad side of the sword. I think overall it's helped. I mean, it's exposed these facilities that we've had people see this on flow and came and bought 3-day tickets to the Smackdown because they've seen it on flow. I think we get people from over 30 different states here, and I think we've had exposure from the flow, so it's helped that way.
In multiple countries too.
Yeah, 5 or 6 different countries.
Our representatives.
Yeah. So I think overall it has helped our model being special events only.
Bring in recognition.
A real kind of quick question is, what is the best food in the concession stand? What are you guys known for?
The pork chop sandwich is what seems to be the most popular, but I like our chicken tenders and cheeseburgers.
Yeah.
And French fries.
Anything deep fried.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
And we're running a special on cotton candy.
Yes.
For the rest of the year. we bought pallets of cotton candy for the monster truck show.
And we still have pallets of cotton candy. It's still fresh though. Yes.
It's got a long shelf life, I'll bet.
But the pork chop was
for
known
sure,
at all
yeah.
of our tracks that we promoted.
Yeah.
They're grilled over charcoal fire, and
Our brother Jim is a chef.
Right.
Yeah.
And he's actually always been a chef at different parts of his life.
he's cooked his whole life at different
And
restaurants.
he's in charge of those and does a very good job at it.
Well, speaking of concessions and facilities, you guys have the Turn 5 pub, right? Tell me about that.
I'll let the girls say no.
Yeah.
That's basically where it started off as just our bar area where people would go and get their drink, and everything's got a cap on it so they don't get dusty with beer. But my brothers turned it into a really nice place where people can go in air conditioning and watch the race on a TV and just
All of
enjoy
history,
conversation.
Lots of pictures, lots of different history, pictures hanging up on the walls.
You guys have completely renovated all the facilities here. Talk about all the work that you've done.
Well, it's been over the years. We just didn't do it all at once. Other than this front stretch, we did do all at once, which it was a lot. But we did over the years. We've done these facilities. You can't just go to a construction company, give them a set of blueprints and say this is what I want. So you could do that, but it costs you a lot of money. So most of what's been done here is done through family and friends. Doing all this building and remodeling and stuff. So we do 90% of the work ourselves.
Well, it's pretty impressive, and the brand new grandstands and new lighting, and of course the track and all the other facilities here. It seems pretty accommodating for campers as well too.
Yeah, We don't have hookups and all that stuff. We'd like to, but it would be, you know, millions of dollars to run hookups out there for everyone. So we try and keep the grass mowed and manicured and nice for them in that respect. And
We actually wish we had more room.
Yeah,
we Sprint Week, Smackdown, we don't usually have enough camping. We usually have a waiting list for camping for the Smackdown for sure.
yeah, there's a waiting list. We have room for more people. Ticket sales are fine. We don't sell out, but the camping sells
The
out.
property for camping needs to be.
Hey, I wanted to ask you guys about your relationship with Bryan Clauson. I know your victory lane is a Bryan Clauson identified victory lane.
Yeah.
Tell us about Bryan Clauson and his legacy here at Kokomo Speedway.
Well, what I really like about Bryan, the new Kokomo Speedway has always been known for you rip around the walls the fastest way around. Where Bryan could rip around the wall, but he also won a lot of races around the bottom when everyone else was ripping around the wall. So he made it. Bryan made me look good as far as a 2-lane racetrack because he would, you know, he could get around the bottom. But I think this was his. I think this was one of his favorite or top tracks, you know, that he liked coming to.
Yeah, he would make sure he'd be here wherever he was racing the night before. He always made sure he got to Kokomo, even if it was a local show for 1,500 to win. He would come and be here. I mean, he's just.
I mean, Bryan put our name on his Indy car.
Yeah.
And we didn't ask, we didn't push, he just did it because we loved him and he loved Kokomo Speedway.
He always got his ass to Kokomo.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that developed the BC Double that we have Labor Day weekend, where he raced at the Indy 500 and then came here and raced at Kokomo. And his last year, he led a lap at Indy and then came to Kokomo and won the feature that night. So it was really amazing.
Super cool, yeah.
Yeah, one of the coolest stories in all of motorsports, if you ask me.
Agreed.
Yes.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who else has ever done that anywhere? I don't think. I mean, maybe back in the day they raced in Indy and then went to a dirt track at night. Not that I know of, but
Yeah.
And
He
right,
led a lap,
the one
and
year he got a couple busloads of fans that went to both races, and
Yeah.
it was just
A big event for
he
him.
was
Yeah.
just a little guy that everyone misses.
it's a great guy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Looking down the road, what's your vision for Kokomo Speedway? Where do you see this place in 15 or 20 years, and what kind of legacy do you hope to leave?
I honestly don't look that far ahead. I'm looking at next year, but 15 years from now, I hope these buildings are still in good shape. I hope we're still all able to keep doing what we do, and I would like to see maybe a 2-day event that is big as the Smackdown. You know, maybe it doesn't have to be non-wing sprint cars. It could be wing sprint cars. I'm excited about the high limit guys running here. You know,
Yeah, a couple
3 times
a year.
a
Yeah, that's
year.
always fun.
I'd love to have a big night or two for late models, but just when we've done that in the past here, this is such a open wheel country. It seems like that the late models didn't work really good for us here in the past, so I'm a little scared. But I'd love to see a big
The
late
races
model
always
show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we have a big event at the end of the year that involves a lot more local drivers, the Kokomo Clash, and that is when we get to have a lot of our local drivers or, within the surrounding area race here, and they seem to love it too,
That's a
and
good
we welcome
tradition.
that too.
And that's a big deal because we get a lot of Michigan and Ohio and Illinois and a few Iowa, some Kentucky cars come, and you win on that weekend and you beat some good competition. So that's some of the best local racers that show up in October.
Yeah, and that's important to preserve that because that, in fact, is the pipeline. There's no USAC without the local tracks
sure.
as the
Yes.
proving grounds
Yeah.
for these racers.
And that's why we talked about earlier about the tracks that run every Saturday night. And we need those. It just wasn't working here for us
No.
on a Sunday.
What haven't I asked you guys that you'd like to share with the YouTube followers?
I don't know. You haven't asked our opinion on what we feel the best racing in the country is on dirt right now.
Well, by the way, what is the best racing on dirt in the country
I mean,
right now?
We love it all, but I still feel these non-wing cars are an animal, like a tough tiger to tame. You know, they're the late models, you got air, the wing cars, you got air, and I love both. And we race late models, and the wing cars are so fast, they're unbelievable to watch. But a non-wing car just looks like it's ready to be out of control or end up in the cornfield flying, you know, at any second. You know, they're just, seems like they're always right on the edge of disaster.
And that's coming from a late model family originally, you know, we were grew up watching late models and supporting late models, and our whole vision changed after we watched a few laps on Kokomo Speedway.
Yeah, I mean, my first time watching these guys, especially, I wish everyone could experience it from the infield because you see how fast they're going.
Yeah.
My first thought was, these guys are nuts.
Yes. Yes.
As a sprint car fan, thrilled that you guys are keeping this going like you are and helping grow the sport. So
We're trying. We need it to grow. We want it to grow.
Yeah.
And your new endeavor with it all will help it grow.
Definitely,
Yeah.
Well,
Appreciate
I hope
it
so.
very much.
my little
Yeah.
part.
Yes.
Well, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, hope to see you at the Smackdown.